Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. We're on season 5. This is episode number 51. Tonight's the sports edition. Andy, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about you? You're on location, it looks like.
Yes, out of town, down in lovely Florida in the sun. We're staying at a VRBO. Lovely weather, and today's October 21st, Andy, 2024. The league championship series are done. World Series is next. We won't bring up the Mets, but they gave it an honest try. 6 games against the Dodgers.
Thank you for not bringing it up.
So we won't bring it up. But there's lots going on. WNBA finished up. NFL is in high string, and the we got some stuff on the WNBA. But let's start off with the trivia question.
Before that, I got one thing I want to bring up. I did bring up a picture for it. I saw it like 5 minutes before we started here. Fox, MLB on Fox, their Facebook page, had a graphic or a picture they put up, a meme they put up. Well, the Dodgers beating the Mets. It was a boxing ring thing, kind of like a Muhammad Ali, with Ohtani with his boxing gloves on, having knocked out Grimace. So no more Grimace.
I think I've seen that.
Okay. Really? Really?
No.
I mean, come on. If they would have Mickey Mouse over Grimace, okay, I could have laughed at that one because Mickey Mouse owns the Dodgers. I get that.
Yes.
Well, LA thing, I could have chuckled at that.
But they're insinuating Grimace. Ohtani single-handedly did it, right? Is what they're insinuating.
I mean, and that's not being a Met fan saying I didn't see it funny. It's like I said, if it would have been Mickey Mouse and Grimace, I got that chuckle. Oh yeah, good job. Okay, you got us. But anyway. I digress.
Yeah, it does make it sound like Ohtani single-handedly did it. The Dodgers are loaded with players, and they've gone off the last couple of years and spent hundreds of millions of dollars as well. So
billions.
It's not just Ohtani. Billions. Yes, it's billions. But the trivia question is this.
Yes,
we'll get to the answer at the end of the episode. The WNBA wrapped up. The Lynx lost in 5. But looking forward to 2025.
In overtime, too.
Oh, okay, yes. 2025, the next season, is a new expansion team. One team is being added. We talked about it earlier for the trivia today. What's the team name? Name. New team, 2025. We'll get to that at the answer at the end of the episode.
Okay, we're starting off with homework here.
I got my pen and paper in hand.
Questions, a little bit of homework. I have other homework for you. First of all, here. It's a simple homework assignment. If you have not, you need to go back and check out this episode we did with Josh Hendricks, New York Mills coach. Bonus edition we did last week. He coaching New York Mills, their Northern State, Northern Division, I don't know what you call it, team. Kind of gets their point of view on everything. We're all Crow River and all the other DRS and stuff down here. Here's another point of view of the Minnesota State baseball leagues. So give it a listen. Bonus episode, very informational stuff.
It's good. It's a very good episode. It's one of the best ones I think we've done. Josh was one of the best interviewees that we had, and we covered a lot of ground. So if you're into baseball, town ball in the state of Minnesota, up north in particular, tune this in and listen to it. It's a very good show.
The Dakota Marker game was this weekend. It's a game between North Dakota State and South Dakota State. This year just happened to be number 1 against number 2 in the country, not only their own conference.
Amazing.
The Dakota Marker, for those of you who don't know their Dakota history, because we're here to educate.
Yes.
On the North Dakota-South Dakota border, about every 10 miles, they have these Dakota Markers. Hence, about 21 years ago, they said, hey, let's have a game for one of those. They did. Cam Miller, quarterback for the Bison, it's his 5th year, has never won this trophy. He's got a national championship. He has never won this trophy until yesterday. 13-9. And it was closer than that. I'm watching the game with the lovely bride.
Yes.
And it was such a good game. She was actually awake for all of it. That's a good deal. Yeah, wow. And South Dakota's coming down on their final drive to win. I'm like, oh my God, you know what though? This whole game, there hasn't been a turnover yet. Boom. Interception, turnover, game over, Bison win. So
you kind of called it, but a good call, and it actually happened.
yeah, there's gonna be a turnover because you're not gonna clean the whole way. Oh my god. Okay, so that Bison won. New rankings came out a little bit ago. They're 1. South Dakota State dropped from 1 to 3.
Makes sense.
Did they drop more than that from 1? You lost the number 2 team. You got to drop, but top 4 have been so tight you can't drop them that far. Great game there. The World Series, like we said, is coming up. Rah. Oh, there's the interception. Sorry.
Yes.
It's going to be the Yankees and Dodgers coming up on the Fox network of families. See, now they'll show the games on Fox. Again, we'll get to that later. So Judge and Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Juan Soto, and everybody's got themselves all excited. And
in a tizzy.
Yes. But boys soccer starts tomorrow. State tourneys here.
State, okay.
Here we go. A. There's your A schedules. Those of you, of course, listening, you'll have to check this out. Got the brackets out from the Minnesota State High School League on their site. Nothing we drop ourselves, of course. We're not that talented. So here's the brackets for those of you to see. State Ball Academy is in there. The number 1 seed. Breck, of course, makes it because they always make it because it's their Breck. It's just the state tournament will almost be called the Breck Invitational. I don't know. B, Class B, Academy of Holy Angels. You want to see Orono in there at 4. There you go, Orono at 4. And the 3A, Minneapolis Washburn, number 1, go up against Bemidji. Bemidji makes it. Go Lumberjacks. Maple Grove in at 2. Tonka 3. Girls soccer, they'll be playing at the same time. Different locations, of course. There's the A, Southwest Christian at 1. St. Cloud Cathedral in there. You got your St. Charles. You got your Providence Academy. You got your regular players in there for A. Double A, Academy of the Holy Angels. Orono, unranked, but or 5th. Not one of the top 4 seed, or 5 seed, but I'd still watch Orono. That's kind of my sleeper pick. Orono and Double A. Of course, the 3A, Wayzata is your number 1 seed. Eastridge 2, Cake Eaters 3, E4. And there's your WNBA champion, New York Liberty. Like I said, great game, went 5 overtime. The officiating, though, Coach Reeves wasn't excited.
No.
She's a little disappointed. And one thing, I have a picture of Dan. I don't know if you saw this in your travels. Game 4 that was here in Minneapolis at the Target Center. Coach Reeves was wearing a Bar of Their Own t-shirt on the bench the whole time.
Yes. A
That
Bar
was
of Their
awesome.
Own.
Love to see her supporting local business. Coach Reeves, she kind of dresses up, just wears a t-shirt. That's her. She's always had different slogans on it. Some I agree with, some I don't. This one I do. It's a great location. That's just kind of Coach Reeves' thing, though. So that was kind of cool.
It's a women's only sports bar, as far as a bar in Minneapolis, in between St. Paul and Minneapolis and St. Paul, that shows women's sports only, no men's sports. It's open to anyone who wants to come in, but it's a sports bar that focuses on women's sports. Awesome. One of the first in the country. And so she was wearing the long sleeve t-shirt promoting that establishment, and I did see it. Very well done.
Very well done. And also, speaking of the gals, Alyssa Nikkinen, we've talked about her before with the Giants organization. Now it looks like she is actually being considered for the Marlins head coaching job, not just a bench coach or a pitching or hit, like the manager.
Wow.
So keep your ears and eyes peeled. Okay, little wrestling news here. Okay. WrestleMania, which is like the Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, the World Series of pro wrestling for WWE. They wanted to hold one in London. They've had other pay-per-views over there. But they wanted to do this in London this time again. All right, we'll go. WWE WrestleMania at Wembley Stadium is said to no longer be a priority for the city of London due to the NFL's interest in holding a Super Bowl there instead.
Wow.
So, now, think about that. When they have the Vikings game over there, because it's about an 8-hour difference, that game's on 8 a.m. here, so it could be a 2-3 o'clock game there. Now, that puts the game up, if they have it late there in England, like an 8 o'clock game, would be noon here. What's that going to do to all the Super Bowl parties beforehand?
The preview shows, yes.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Like when the Cowboys had their run, the Super Bowl was like a 1:00 game. You still could go to work the next day. None of this, oh, I need the day off the Super Bowl off. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a sissy. Hey, man up. If you're going to piss in the tall grass with the big dogs, get wet. So if the Super Bowl's in London, it's going to be an earlier time here. We'll be fine. We'll make it to work the next day. I mean, I always make it to work the next day anyway.
And we won't have to deal with all the preview shows.
Not as much. Because, of course, Dan, you and I, we'd miss those in the morning because we're at church in the morning before that would miss that.
Correct.
Ida would want it that way.
Yes.
All right. Joey Logano. We mentioned last week how he kind of backed into the playoffs. He was supposed to be eliminated. The last guy there, your cars are good. You're out. Logano's back in. So Logano literally backs into the final 8. And he wins yesterday, which means he's automatically locked up for the championship round.
Okay.
Now, the last 2 times he's won the first race in the round of 8, he's gone on to win it. He won the first race in the round of 8 yesterday. If he goes on to, first of all, the fact he made it is going to upset a lot of people.
Yep.
If he wins it, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You just wait and you see the internet blow up, the NASCAR world of internet blow up on that one.
So he was bordering on not even making.
He shouldn't have made the round of 8. They check Bowman's car afterwards. They check all your cars after the race, make sure you're still legal. You didn't sneak something in during the race or take something out. Well, they must have snuck something in or took something out because his car failed post-race inspection. So Logano was given the 8th spot. Instead of saying, too bad, only 7 guys, they let Logano get back in at 8, and now he wins.
He wins, and now he could run the table and win.
And now he could just be good these next 2 races. He's in the round of the final 4, the championship round. He's styling.
Wow.
Soapbox number 1.
Yes.
You heard me right. Number 1. FanDuel Sports Network. It's no longer Bally Sports. As of today, they all became FanDuel Sports Network.
Okay.
With that said, aren't you kind of promoting gambling in your sport now?
Yes, obviously.
I mean, yes, they have all the commercials during everything else, but now it's the gambling is sponsoring the games. It's not just a commercial. It's sponsoring the game. Do I have a problem with this? A little bit. A little bit. I guess I like the old days when it was Midwest Sports Channel. Every local area had their own little cable box thing for it, their cable niche. I didn't like it when it was Fox Sports North or Fox Sports Midwest or Fox Sports Southeast. I really didn't like those too much because it was still controlled by Fox then. I didn't like the Bally Sports North because it's all kind of the same thing. I don't like the FanDuel because it's, and I'm not ripping on gambling. I'll drop $20 on a bet here and there. Hell, we bet cases of beer on the show. I just see this being bad. I hope it's not. I'm not happy about it. You couldn't find a network Mark Cuban couldn't have bought a company and you had to be Mark Cuban Sports Network or something. You couldn't come up with something better than FanDuel.
Of all the names, and when you watch any kind of pro sports now, it's not just the scores on the crawl on the bottom of the screen. It's not the projected starters for baseball. Yep. It's all the over, under, the plus, minus.
Right.
The betting odds are just in your face.
Right.
Then you watch sports, and then the commercials are in your face. Now we're getting a network, and it's only going to be really in your face.
Yeah.
And we've got guys like Pete Rose, baseball hero, who got banned for simply allegedly gambling, and now they're promoting it. It's not just accepting that it happens, it's promoting it.
God, it kind of bothers me a little bit.
Yes,
makes me feel
it grinds your gears.
Makes me feel icky in my tummy. Soapbox 2. Tom Brady's restrictions as a Fox broadcaster now that he's part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
No pregame period meeting with the players. He can't critique teams or refs, he can't criticize teams or refs. He can't enter team facilities. He cannot attend practices, and he's subject to NFL's gambling rules. Then why the hell is he sitting up there in the box announcing games? How's he
Well,
supposed to do his job without access to this other stuff?
yeah, it's so
So
now
he's purely
you've
just a
got
name now to listen to.
you have to pick one or the other.
How
You were the greatest of all time, the GOAT, and you want to go in and put your money to buy a team. Good, that's great. And at the same time, apply for a job as a broadcaster and have the networks court you to be a broadcaster. Well,
I'm pretty sure
you
Fox
can't
came
have
to
it.
him. I don't think he knocked on the door looking for a
You
job.
can't have it both ways, though, right? So
Yeah,
if
the
he's a
fact he's playing
broadcaster,
both, I don't like that.
I'm fine with it. If you want to own a team, I'm fine with it. But you want to own a team that's a major player in the sport that you're broadcasting, and now you have all these limitations. I don't see that working out long term.
And while we're at it here, okay, one more thing. I'll go back to I'm going back to the soapbox. TBS and Fox's coverage of the playoffs. I was not a fan of the 4 more at bats till Ohtani comes up, 3 more at bats. I could give a rat's ass when he's coming up. I'm watching the game. I'm keeping up. I know when the man's batting. Okay. Second of all, yes, I'm older. I appreciate the large graphics on Fox, but you know what? I kind of like the small ones on TBS because I could see more of the game because I want to watch the game, not graphics. TBS, the little strike zone box wasn't as obvious to see as it was on Fox. So it was able to, you could really watch the game and not have to be told what's going on by looking at it. Oh, that was a ball. Blew that call. Boo. No, I want to not know what it was and trust his judgment. He's the ump. He's the one making $300,000 a year doing it, not me. I want to see his call. I could care less where your little box says it was a strike or not.
Interesting. Okay.
My opinion.
Yep.
But the other than really bothering me, TBS had games. They're a cable channel. Great. Fox pays for the games, and they'd rather have it on FS1 for their 3:00 in the afternoon game because Fox channel here in the Twin Cities had to show Judge Judy. That was going to get more ratings than a baseball game. Or their nighttime shows, they had to show Dancing with the Masked Singer, whatever the hell show they have on the floor, whatever they're showing. That's going to do better ratings than a Major League Baseball playoff game. B as in B, S as in S, as Joe Strusher would say. That's the other part about it. Fox spends all the money for it, and they throw it on their cable channel. That's why no one watches World Series, because the playoffs have all been on cable. They haven't seen a game unless it was on Saturday night. Then we were blessed with Fox to show it on the regular Fox network. But that's why the World Series ratings are down. Oh, whoops, the World Series is on? Didn't know the playoffs have all been on cable since October.
Yeah, it's the price you pay when you've got so many networks, like the NCAA basketball tournament. The games are on True TV, all these channels. And yes, it's too diluted that people don't even, who want to see it, can't even watch a baseball game, a playoff game.
Right.
So
CBS doesn't want to spend the money to try to get the baseball bids. Hold on, Kevin. CBS didn't want to get the baseball bids to show the games. Said they want to show the Golden Bachelor or whatever the hell that senior citizen porn they're showing on there.
Yes.
Fox wants to show the floor, their other reality game shows, because no one wants to watch baseball unless it's the World Series. Who cares about? And that's where Cleveland, Kansas City, Detroit don't get the respect and love because they won't show you unless you're in the championship game. Yeah. These teams all made the playoffs, so are going for it. But what's that show then? So that, grinds my gears.
Yeah, it's an East and West Coast, big city. You're going to get all the games anyway, and in the postseason. The mid-major teams aren't going to get anything, and even when that's the ALCS, NLCS, it's not until the World Series. So it's given them, it's a shot, yes.
And I just have the one more thing here. Congratulations, Purdue women's volleyball, 14,876, a new attendance record. So just short of 15 to see gals volleyball there in Purdue. We've talked about Gopher women's volleyball here. People, if you love competition, you want to see high action and excitement for 2-3 minutes at a time, kind of like wrestling or swimming or dance, because that's what volleyball is. Couple 3 minutes of excitement, then there's a break for a serve. So it's not the whole hockey back and forth, occasional goal, or basketball, bucket, bucket, bucket. It's intense, stop. Intense, stop. Volleyball, great game. Go check it out. I don't care if you go to Purdue. Well, I would care if you went to Wisconsin. That's gross. Minnesota, St. Cloud, Bemidji, North Dakota State, Duluth. Catch a college volleyball game. Very, very exciting stuff.
I think this is where we'll see the uptick also in the women's sports. Basketball did it, and then volleyball had the outdoor events at the football games, and they're drawing all these fans, and it's relaying now in real time in the actual stadiums now, in the arenas. So people are coming out to watch this. They're coming out to watch it. It is entertaining. It's it's fantastic sports. So it's good quality stuff. Now,
and one more thing that was I noticed today, the WNBA, getting back, kind of leading into your trivia answer here, is not signed a collective bargaining. So that means after 2025, they could go on strike. I'm not being pro-union or anti-union on this. I'm just saying that would be the stupidest thing they could do right now. And I know that's why they're not signing. Oh, we're hot. We want more money. No, we're not going to give you more money. Butting heads.
Yeah,
they lose one day to a strike. Everything these last 2 years they fought for is thrown out the window and gone. They've lost all this traction they've made. Quickly find a middle ground. Maybe only sign a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal so you can keep putting product out there. A strike is the last thing you women want to do right now. You ladies have got a great thing going. Keep it going. I understand you deserve a bigger piece of the cake. I totally am behind you on that. But you take one little tiny step back and it could set you back years.
It's a dilemma. It's a dilemma. So, Andy, the WNBA, they had the championship. We talked about the Lynx always doing well in odd numbered years. Even numbered years, we basically predicted that this may not be even numbered year. They get to 5 games, they lose. Be that as it may, the officiating, Andy, was so bad and so poor, and the video footage is right there. And Cheryl Reeves said it. If they could just send it into New York and say, we're going to do a replay, and we don't agree with that particular call, play it back. Yes, it was wrong. Let's correct it. They don't have that yet. And maybe it's coming to that, but the Lynx should have won that game 5 on the road in New York. New York was shooting 30% in the game, and now they have a WNBA trophy. They couldn't do anything. So it's very embarrassing at the same time. I don't think, like other sports, that you're really not allowed to criticize the refs, right?
Now they're getting a fine or something, a nasty letter from the league office.
Yeah, so she'll get something for this because you're not supposed to, but this was almost egregious. It was almost so obvious in your face. The foul that was called at the end after the 5-step travel was called on the Lynx. Looking back, the gal never even made contact with her. Now they go to the line, sink the free throws, and you're in overtime, and now you win, all because of one play that turned the whole sequence of events. So they had a couple horrible calls like that. So it didn't end on a good slate. Lynx should have won that game, but WNBA is where it's at. It's where the fans are, the fan base. You can't have a strike. You can't do anything like that. They've already somewhat screwed things up this year with handling the Caitlin Clark, but they got over that. They're going to have Paige Beckers and everyone come in next year. But on to the trivia question.
Yes.
Who's the team that's going to be coming on? There's an expansion team coming in. Great time if you're an expansion team in a sport that's getting big time traction. Now is the time you want to come in. And so one team coming in, do you know who that team is?
If I recall, because I see so many names coming out the expansion, so I know it's not Nashville or Philadelphia, because those are 2 big names coming up. I don't know where they're playing in San Francisco, but I don't know if they're going by California or Golden State or San Francisco or whatever, Bay Area.
That's it. It's Golden State. The team in California is going to be the new team coming in, and good hats off for them. They're coming in at the a peak time in the sport. It's going to be awesome. They will hold these off-season drafts, so the teams have a chance to lose some players to supplement this Golden State, but that's going to be fun for them. In 2 years, there's 2 more teams coming in.
Right.
2 more. So right now they're going to be playing 1 more season here with an odd number of actually teams, and then they're going to be growing. So that'll be very interesting. Now the Dodgers and the Yankees playing, for us old timers, that's a common World Series, right? You've heard this. These games have been played. That's X number of time they faced each other in the World Series.
Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Yankees.
The Brooklyn Dodgers, the Yankees, all this head-to-head stuff. So the question is this: when's the last time the Dodgers and Yankees actually played a World Series? I looked it up today. It was 1981. That's the last time.
The Yankees went that long stretch without being in a series.
Yes. So it's 2 big names going head-to-head in a heavyweight bout with big players, but it hasn't been done since 1981. The newer generation, actually another generation in between us, they weren't even alive in 1981. So this is going to be new, but it'll be fun to follow. They aren't going to move the series up, but they did go. They're at the regular times. They're going to be starting on Friday. We'll have more on Monday night for the show with the World Series. The Arizona Fall League just completed their 2nd week. We're not going to touch on that too much here tonight as well. But that's all I've got.
For Mexican League is in full swing. You'll see our updates on the Facebook page about that. Zach's on there pitching for Monterey.
Zach Muckenhern of Monterey.
Let's catch his episode also. Extra credit homework. Our interview with him we did about 3 weeks ago. Find him on our YouTube page and our Spotify page and listen to that. Good guest there to have.
Local pitcher pitching in the Mexican Pacific League. It should be fun to watch him. Look for him to do very well, in that league, and then get picked up and brought back potentially in the Major League Baseball. He should do very well with that competition there. And then
I will be special guest of Jeremy the Rock Quass at homecoming for the Gopher football game this Saturday. Watch for pictures and or bail notes to become out, one of the 2.
Yeah, one of the 2 should be happening. The Gophers had a bye week. Now they play at home on the Sunday. That should be fun. We're looking for photos of Andy and Jeremy here next week as well. That should be fun to go.
Vikes play Thursday. That frees up your Sunday to spend time with your family. There, I said it.
Vikings coming off a loss. They're 5-0, and then they got beat. Now they're 5-1. The Lions beat them. Lions are one of the top, maybe 1 or 2 best teams in all of the NFL. It took them down to the final second to beat the Vikings at home. Look for that rematch. Rematch is the final game of the year in Detroit.
Some people are saying, see, Kevin O'Connell, he shouldn't be calling plays anymore. He sucks. Get rid of him doing that. Oh, geez, really, the first 5 weeks are going to make a bronze statue of the man for calling plays while they lose a game. Take it away from him. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. Detroit's tough. So
Detroit's got to get me.
I got no problem with the loss by 2 points at home because that final game of the season, I think it's the end of December, maybe the end of December. Vikings at Detroit, and there could be tons of playoff implications in that game, if not big-time implications.
And also, speaking of freeing up your Sundays, not only the Vikes play this Thursday, next week the Indianapolis game is getting, what do they call it?
Flex.
We're moving it to the Sunday night game.
Oh. See, they're going to flex.
They don't think Philadelphia Jacksonville's going to draw a big crowd, so they want Vikings Indianapolis instead.
Also look for a special bonus edition to be airing this week on a Vikings report, mid-season Vikings report interview that's going to be airing tomorrow.
Nice.
That's all I got for the week. See you all next week.
See ya.
See ya.